I'm joined now by WNBA veteran Swin Cash, who is in her first full season with the New York Liberty. And Swin, thanks so much for being here, number one.
Thanks for having me.
So your team fresh off a victory over the LA Sparks earlier today at MSG. That puts you at 5-4 on the season. Just kind of give me your assessment thus far of how the team has gone.
Well, I've been very excited with the energy and the morale of the team. We have a young team with a few veterans like Tanisha Wright and myself. You have Essence Carson, staple in the middle franchise, and Tina Charles. But we didn't have Epiphany Prince early on. She had to go and fulfill some requirements overseas, but she'll be coming back to us shortly. So not to have one of our key young players that's great with the basketball, scoring threat, I thought we've been handling it pretty well so far.
So still almost kind of a feeling out process with her away, correct?
Absolutely, and it's really about chemistry, really building that chemistry. We have a whole new team. I think what the Liberty did this year where they acquired some pieces, and it's just like a whole new team. Besides Essence Carson, Tina Charles, I mean, the players that have really been here, it's like figuring out what your identity is again, how you're going to play, what are you going to become, and I think that's what we've been doing early on is what kind of team do we want to be.
Right. Now, some of our viewers may not be aware, as we mentioned earlier, we were joking off camera, you're a very decorated athlete, two-time Olympic gold medalist, three-time WNBA champion, two-time NCAA champ at UConn. What have you drawn from those experiences that you think you can bring to the Liberty locker room and organization?
Listen, I've been blessed throughout my career, and to have the ability to win at every level that I've played at has given me not only knowledge about the game, but understanding what it takes to be a successful team and to win. And it's really helped me with how I prepare in the locker room, how I prepare for games, and how to help our younger players understand what it means to not only be a pro, but to stay pro ready. I always say that younger players come into the league and they just think, you know what, I'm going to get 30 minutes a game, I'm going to play a lot of minutes, I'm going to have a lot of fun, but they don't understand the work that it takes to really put in. And sometimes you may not get 30 minutes. You may be sitting on that bench for the whole game. In the last 4 minutes, the coach calls your number. You have to be prepared and ready to come out there and play. New
York City starving for a championship of any kind.
Yes.
How can you kind of steer the Liberty when everyone gets healthy in that direction?
I feel like we have great veterans on this team, and it'll be done by committee. Like I said, Tanisha Wright's a veteran that I actually won a championship with in Seattle, so we're now both here in New York. She's from New York, from Brooklyn. So I think that we're all on one accord when it comes down to we want to win this for New York. We want to be the team that's there at the end. And the only way you can get there at the end is to do all the steps in between. And that's what we're focused on, our day-to-day of getting better as a team and making sure every practice, every game is like a playoff.
You played under head coach Bill Laimbeer in Detroit. Now you're back here playing under him in the Liberty, and you're laughing, right? And you're laughing. Is he difficult to play for?
He's very demanding. I think he has a really high standard. It's kind of funny because he said to me the other day, I hold you to a higher standard. So certain mistakes and certain things that may be done by others, I don't expect that from you. And that's okay with me because I've always been one of those players that I want the coach to be able to count on me when it's that last minute or last two in a game for a championship and you need somebody on the floor. You want your coach to trust you. And I think Bill and I have that past history of winning championships together, and so we actually understand what to expect from each other.
Has he softened up a bit since your days together in Detroit? You're looking at me like that's a ridiculous question.
Up. I mean, besides him needing to work out a little bit more, I get on him a lot because Herb, our assistant coach, is working out, and so he's over there, just relaxing. I'm like, what, you can work out with Herb? But no, Bill is the same Bill. He's very competitive, and it's been interesting because having Isiah here, they both won championships in Detroit. I think that he's able to really pick different people's brains and understand what dynamic he wants to kind of infuse into this team right now. Like I said, we have pretty much a whole new team, new season, want to build chemistry fast, and we want to make sure we're winning here in New York.
Now, you mentioned Isiah and Isiah Thomas. He was obviously back in 2007 involved in a sexual harassment lawsuit involving the Garden that cost MSG over $11 million. Now he's back as president of the Liberty. With that history, what is your reaction to him being in that position with a women's professional basketball team?
My reaction's been the same, is that I approached it. We had conversations with Isiah, and from that standpoint on, we've been focusing on what's happening on the basketball court. He has been nothing but professional since the start of training camp. He's really helped a lot of players on the court, talking to us about what he's seeing from the game. And behind the scenes in regard to running an organization, I mean, right now, if you look at it from a standpoint of sponsorships and how well our organization has prepared us to, for this season, all the media attention that we've gotten, I would say that we're right on track. I mean, right now our focus is on playing, but I feel like we're all in it together right now.
Was it hard for you as a woman to reconcile that?
I've always been very outspoken in everything that I've ever done, and I didn't shy away from this. What I wanted to do was get the information, which I did. I wanted to address it with my teammates, which I did, and then we wanted to move on from there. I think it was one of those things where a situation happens, and you have to have professionals and mature people be in a position to deal with it and then move on.
Your Cash for Kids charity. Tell us a little bit about that. What does it involve, and what are you trying to do?
I've been blessed. This is 10 years that I've had my charity. We really try to help kids, we like to say, get in the game. There are a lot of organizations that have been cutting back from getting youth activities, cultural trips, academic enrichment. And so we provide these programs in McKeesport, and now we're going to be doing more here in New York, partner with the Liberty at some point as well. But we actually just recently brought 35 kids up from my hometown of McKeesport on a bus trip, able to go to Statue of Liberty, tour New York a little bit, and it's really about giving back. I always say with visibility comes great responsibility, and so I'm happy that I'm able, with great sponsors and partnerships, be able to step up to the plate and really serve our youth, because they are our future.
Quickly, what did you think of the Knicks' 4th pick in the draft, taking Kristaps Porzingis? A lot of controversy around here. What are your thoughts? You follow the league.
I'm married to a diehard Knicks fan, and I understand that some people may question it, but with a huge budget for the free agency, I think Phil has a few more tricks up his sleeve, and I liked what Chris said about his competitiveness and how he's going to stay in the gym to work. Hey, you got him now. Let's go to work.
So you're all in on the pick?
Hey, I'm all in for whatever Knicks are doing and moving forward.
All right. Swin, thanks so much for stopping
Absolutely.
by. It's great to see you again.
Thank you. Good to see you, too.